All right. Welcome to our Monday live. This is welcome Monday live. This is our first live um, under President Trump, and I know there's a lot of questions. People have been calling me all day, sending me messages. So we're gonna go live in all our platforms: YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok in a second. I'm going to join on TikTok as well. But anyway, let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know where you are in the world. We have a lot to talk about. There's a bunch of executive orders that were signed today. And I know that you all have questions. So please post them in the comments. Let me know where you're from, where you're tuning in it. I see a lot of people here. Well, I've got a lot of people here. So yeah, let's talk about it. It's been an emotional day for a lot of people. Uncertainty, especially for immigrants that are wondering what's going to happen. What do these executive orders mean? What are some of the executive orders that we're going to be seeing coming up? Let's see here. So I think that there's a lot of questions that we need to answer. And that's what we're going to do. So welcome. Let me know where you are tuning in. We have our TikTok friends join us. We've got Cindy from Texas and Guam, Ethiopia, California, Texas, Liberia, Nigeria, people from all over the world watching from Florida. Amazing. So we got TikTok here as well. Amazing. Hey guys. So as you said, let me just talk about what happened today. So, there's many executive orders that were signed by Trump. I think the biggest thing for you guys to worry about is that what's going to happen at the border. People that are applying for asylum, it's just going to get harder, obviously. He's bringing back the Remain in Mexico program, which means that when you apply for asylum, you're going to have to wait overseas for see here for your case in Mexico for your case to be processed. And I think that the biggest concern that people are having is what does it mean by that he's going to be cleaning up the country from bad people. They're targeting over 1 million immigrants for removals, to remove them. And not all of them are criminals, right? So doesn't mean we're going to have more ICE raids. Raids are starting. I'm going to answer all your questions, guys, in a second. I just want to talk about a little bit what's happening. Raids already starting in many, many cities. It's part of that, cleanup. They're going to have to find people that have final orders of removals. They're going to be first in line. Or if you have any criminal issues and you are waiting for your case and you have criminal issues, then you could also be a target for removal. So it's hard to say. We'll talk about what happens when ICE comes to you and everything, but I'm curious to see what questions do you have. And people are worried about DACA. I have questions here about DACA. I don't think DACA is going away anywhere. He didn't mention DACA at all. I think there might be some restrictions on DACA. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But DACA wasn't mentioned. And again, as I said, I think that if you have ways to get out of DACA and get other permanent status, then you should definitely do that. All right, let's start taking some questions from you guys. A lot of questions. So we've got Andreas on YouTube. Sponsored my mom under F2B. I got married to my fiance. She's a green card holder. Should I wait for my case under my mom or get married? So, if you're from the Philippines, obviously, and your priority through your mom is going to take longer. But even if you marry a green card holder, that's going to take about 3 years. Is it faster than your mom? Yes. Should you cancel your mom's case? You shouldn't. But it definitely will change the priority, because if you're considered to be unmarried and you're going to marry, it's going to change the dates. So I think it's important for you guys to speak with an attorney about your options. Tamito is asking, what about the spousal visa? Will it be affecting the wait times, the changes? I think what's going to happen is that, the more we have restrictions, the more we have people going through investigations, the more we have backlogs, it's going to impact how long you have to wait for your case. All right, let's see. I think it's important to talk about that. We have a lot of good questions from TikTok. And again, guys, if you want to go on video, on YouTube, I'm going to post the link and we can do a video call and join me on video. If you want to go on video on TikTok, just join the link at the bottom and we can do that. All right. There's a request to join. I'm trying to question from Angie. I'm trying to bring my mom. I'm a citizen. Can I bring her? Absolutely. If you're a citizen and your mom is not here, you should file for her. The sooner you do it, the better, because we don't know what Trump is going to do. Is he going to bring back the travel bans? A lot of you guys are asking about the travel bans. Thanks, Ms. Martinez. Appreciate it. I mean, he hasn't mentioned anything about the travel bans, which is good. Let's see what people on Instagram are asking. He hasn't mentioned anything about the travel bans. We've got Sir Banus on Instagram. Hey there, I have an asylum case pending, but I got in the country legal. Should I be worried? No, you shouldn't be worried, because he's talking about people coming into the country right now. He's not talking about people that are not inside the country. Imar, I am Rami on Instagram. How will the F2A visa date change going forward? India priority. I think F2A is going to go a little bit more slow after April. Right now, we're not going to see any movement. You see here, we have a lot of good questions here. Early on Instagram, my DACA renewal is taking long and my permit has expired. Trump is making me feel nervous. I mean, guys, remember that if you have DACA, just renew it when you're ready, and apply for advanced parole if you can. Preserve your rights to use DACA. You know what I mean? So I think the biggest thing that he said today, which kind of caught my attention, is that he said he's going to close the border. He's going to send the military to the border, and he's going to get rid of 1 million people. He said he's going to get rid of 1 million people who are in the country right now. He said focusing on criminals and gang members, but we know it's not that simple, right? We know that the raids that started this week, I had a call from an employer of mine, a client employer, and he said that their neighbor, they're doing it's a construction company. A neighboring company was raided last week, and they arrested a bunch of people. And it's important to know your rights, guys. If they stop you in a public place, you don't have to answer anything. You can say, I reserve the right to remain silent. Why, am I under arrest? Why are you detaining me? If they come to the workplace, it's a little bit different. You have to obviously have the right to an attorney. But if they come to the workplace, you have to present obviously documents. If you're working unlawfully, that's going to be an issue. They can detain people who they think they're working unlawfully. So people who are detained in the workplace, you got to be careful. If they come to the home, if they come to your house, you don't have to open the door unless they have a warrant signed by a judge. It's very important, because I'm telling you guys, there's going to be quite a lot of raids happening in the next probably 6 months. And if they come to your house and they don't have a warrant signed by a judge, it cannot be signed by an immigration officer or an ICE official, right? So keep in mind that it has to be signed by a judge, and if it's not signed by a judge, you don't have to open the door. All I'm going to take some live videos in a second, but if you want to join on video, let's see here. We got a video call from one of our TikTok viewers. If you go on video, let me know where you're from. Ask one question. So please join at the bottom. And if you're watching this video, feel free to share it with others. And the same thing with you guys if you want to join. Where are you from? What is the question? Hi.
I'm calling from Grand Forks.
Okay.
I just got a question.
Okay.
So how about the people who just came through the border in the 2021, 2022,
Okay.
2023 that just came through the border? Are they gonna be part of this deportation rate, or is people who already been in the removal process 10 years ago or 5, 6, 7?
Right. So
went through the lawyer and they already requested them to get
thanks,
out of the
Maria.
country.
So remember, if a person has a final order of removal, they could be a target. But if you're going through the court process right now and you don't have a final order of removal, then you go through the court. Then you show them, listen, I'm going through the court. They're not going to do anything to you. Does it make sense?
All right. So that means once you already applied for asylum, now
you're fine.
Waiting on your hearing date, so you just fine.
Correct. They won't do anything to you. If you're going through the asylum process, you're fine. You're in the court system. They're not going to do anything to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
So there's a lot of questions here. How do I know? No, I didn't block you, Sam. I see you right away. They're saying, how do we know if the order is signed by a judge? Well, it says a court of something, and it says judge. Literally, it says judge, honorable so and so. If it's an ICE officer, it just says agent, blah blah blah. If the agent signed the order, you don't have to open the door. If it says court, Supreme Court, blah blah blah, immigration court, judge, blah blah blah, then it's a judge, right? It's clear. I have a work permit. Can I get deported? So if you have a work permit, if you're going through the immigration process, you're not going to get deported, right? I mean, like I said, and it's very unclear also who are they deporting right now, who are they targeting right now. The raids that we've seen are going after employment, so they're coming to companies, right? That's what we've seen happening right now. So the idea is that it's easier to start with that, because if they're coming to a restaurant, and if you go down San Diego Fifth Avenue where all the restaurants are, and you're going to raid that, then they're going to close restaurants, because guess what? Most restaurants have undocumented workers working there. If they're going to raid construction companies, so right now these raids are going after employers, but it's going to be expanding probably to other places. Thank you, Shubhak. I appreciate it. Let's get a few more questions. Any information about EB3? EB3 is the green card category for employment. It is still behind. It's really much behind. There's severe backlogs, and so I don't think anything's going to move in EB3 before April of 2025. Temitio, I'll take you in a second. I can see you, and anybody who wants to join a video on YouTube can join here, and then I'll take more of you guys on TikTok. Instagram doesn't allow me to accept guests for some reason, but I'll take your questions. Dimitri is in Chicago. Carolina on Instagram. My DACA is taking long and my permit is expired. Trump is making me nervous. He's making me nervous too. Hopefully no more delays for N400. No, I don't think so. N400 is going pretty good right now. We got Belgium, Vegas, Los Angeles, Sedona. Let's see. I'm a student and I got a felony charges, but the case is under process. Is it a problem for deportation? So remember, guys, if you're immigrants and you have some sort of a felony, you got to be careful. You got to be very careful, because you potentially could be targeted. We don't know how wide they're going to go, but it's going to happen. It could happen. George is asking, can you help clients? Can you help us? Can you help clients in all 50 states? I'm in Phoenix. Absolutely. So let me make it clear. If you're watching this, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, I can help clients in all 50 states. Immigration is federal. If you're watching this on TikTok and you want to make a consultation, so all I have to do, because I know a lot of you want to talk to me and kind of figure out what to do, there's a phone number in my bio. Go to my bio right now. write down the phone number, send me a text right now, say I'm watching this, I want to book a call, let's set up a strategy. Because the best thing to do is to be informed. If you're watching this on YouTube, there's a phone number right on the top of the screen, and write it down and send me a text as well. And the same thing for Instagram, you can see the number right on your screen. Take advantage of it, it's right for you. But on TikTok, guys, it's in my bio. Just go to my bio right now and write down the number, and you can text me immediately, so we can because like I said, there's no point to be scared. What you have to do is, if you came here multiple times, if you were undocumented, you need to make a plan. Like, what are my options? Unless you know your options, you're never going to know. You're going to feel always stressed. I think the point of having a consultation is that essentially I try to tell my clients, well, here's what you can do. Here's what you can do. Here's what happens if ICE catches you. What can you do? So it's even if you can't fix your papers right now, you should be informed about your rights, about your options. This is the best thing you should do for yourself, to be honest with you. Did you say anything about diversity visa process? No. And remember, Trump, he didn't say much. He talked about 4 main things: closing the border, stopping asylum in a way, kind of like controlling it by sending people back to Mexico through the Remain in Mexico process, which is just another way how to process asylum. And he's talking about deportation of over 1 million people, but didn't give us enough details. And he said he's going to bring the military to the border. So that's kind of what he said today. Now, expect in the next couple of weeks more executive orders. Expect more changes happening. So obviously, I will be here every day with videos, and we'll do more lives, and I'll keep you posted. But like I said, there are many people here who are posting, like, for example, Tamisha is talking about, her husband was deported and then he came back. These are very specific questions, which I can't answer live because it's going to expose you. So if you want to talk to me about things, whether it's this, or if you want to plan, the H1B season is starting in a month and a half. H1B is the most popular work visa. And, we're doing a big webinar on January 28th. The link to the webinar is in my TikTok bio. You need to take action on things you can do. Like right now is H1B visa season. If you're legal in the United States, if you have an employer, you should work on that, because take advantage of it. It's once a year. If you can apply for a green card, thank you so much for the hearts and likes. Let's do it, right? So what you can do, you should do it. So once again, if you're watching this on YouTube, use the phone number right here to text me and book a consultation. And if you're watching this on TikTok, then go to my bio right now, screenshot it, use the phone number, send me a text. Let's do it. Let me get
Hello.
to meet you.
Temitayo.
Dimitri is on YouTube, and she is live with us on YouTube. Let me make it louder so people can hear. Tell me where you're from and what is your question. And you.
Yes, I am. Hi, Temitayo. I'm from Dallas, Texas. And my question is, my husband, I'm waiting for him. He's in Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria is where we're waiting for the interview for. His classification is CR1. And so we're just wondering, do you know about how long it's taken to get an interview time? We've been documentarily qualified and everything. We're just trying to get a time frame.
It's a great question. So, for those of you watching this on TikTok, hopefully you heard, Tamika is married to, where is he from?
He's a Nigerian citizen.
Nigerian. And they're waiting for the interview. They're stuck at NVC, document to complete. So what's happening right now is that the wait times depend on which embassy your case is going to go to. So unfortunately, your case is Lagos. And Lagos is the worst embassy after Islamabad. So, unfortunately, there is when did you guys get document to complete?
December 18th of 2023.
Okay. So you've been waiting for a year now, over a year now. Nigeria right now is hitting about 14, 16 months wait average, just so you know. So you're not that far away. Have you tried to expedite your case with FEC?
How do you do that? I don't even know how to do that.
There's a way to do it using, I mean, I can help you with that. So just send me a message. But for general information, there's a way to email them certain documents to request an expedite once, at least once. If you haven't done it, you should do it. So just
Okay.
connect here the number and I'll help you. But the point is
Okay.
that it's Nigeria is about 16 months. So hopefully
Okay.
you'll be next. But if you want to try to expedite, that's all we can do.
Okay. So either wait should I wait till the 14 to 16 months and then if I don't hear anything, try to expedite?
It's up to you. But that's
Okay.
all we can do right now.
Okay. Very good. Thank you so much. And I will text your number.
Yeah, so right now it's like I said, the backlogs are getting worse, and hopefully we will. All right, so question from Utman: what is the deal with people who came here legally but went out of status? Are they targets for deportation? It's a great question on YouTube, but I'll answer it here because some people are asking. So he's asking: he came here legally, a tourist, a student, but then he overstayed. What's going to happen? Are you guys going to be targeted for deportation? The way I see it, no, because the way they are targeting is they're going to be. He said he's going to focus on criminals, people with final orders of removal, and people that are they were removed but they didn't leave. So, for example, let's say you had an order of removal, they send you back, but you never left. Okay, those are the people they're going to target. If you just overstayed your visa and you're just living here peacefully, they're not going to look for you. There's no way they're going to look for 11 million people. But those million people who are criminal issues, they were removed, but they never left. Let's say you had a voluntary departure, but you never left. You'll be a target. Also, if you have a final order of removal and you're just sitting lingering here, you will also be a target. Finally, if you're undocumented, you're working illegally, they raid your company, they raid your employer, and you're there, they will try to deport you. But again, you can't just deport people just like that. There's a procedures. You'll be able to get an attorney and all that. But it's really important to understand what's going to happen in the next future. Who is affected by CBP-1? I heard Trump canceled. Absolutely. So CBP-1 was an app that helped process people's cases through court and things like that. That app is canceled. Over 1 million people were able to use it, but no longer you cannot use it anymore. Okay. How long is it taking for advanced parole to get approved right now? It's taking about over 8 months, at least average. Let's take another video question here on TikTok. And then I'll go to YouTube, Instagram. Actually, let me take another question on Instagram, and then I'll get you Maria. Yomer De Leon: is Trump going to strict accepting more exchange students from other countries? And is he going to give green cards to students on day one? He has not restricted the J1 program, the exchange, and that's still going on. And in terms of him giving green cards to students on day one, well, he hasn't given any green cards today, as far as I know, and he's not going to give any green cards to anyone for free. He did this as part of his campaign promise, and that hasn't happened. Maria, welcome. Where are you from, and what is your question?
Jacob, I'm from Denver, Colorado.
Nice.
I'm a DACA recipient, and so is my husband.
Okay.
But we're just trying. I know they haven't said anything about DACA yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
But we do have family members who are illegal, own homes, businesses, and so do we. I mean, we own properties. I mean, what happens if someone gets deported and, I mean, they have so many assets in the U.S.? Like, are we given time to fight?
It's a good question. It's a very good question. And I see the same question is coming up here on YouTube and a couple of them on Instagram. So it's very important. I think what I'm going to say right now, I'm going to make some videos about that too. It's very important to understand where people are being apprehended and put in removal. So for example, if somebody comes at the border right now, which less people are going to be able to do it because of what they're doing, they're closing the borders, and essentially those people come at the border, they're immediately being removed. They don't have a judge. But if somebody is living in the US, like your family, right, your friends, you live in the US and you happen to be apprehended by ICE, they detain you, they take you to one of their holding facilities, custody, and then what happens is that you have the right to reach out to a lawyer, right? It's very important that people realize that, because they tell you, no, you can't talk to a lawyer. Yes, you can. You have the right to call an attorney. Once you call an attorney, if you're not a criminal, most people are eligible for a bond. They should be able to be bonded, and then they can wait for the removal at home, right? So nobody's going to be taken and put in a truck and sent across the border. They can't do that. They have to detain you, give you a notice to appear, which is going to say you're illegal, you were caught at work, you're working, whatever the charges are, and you have the right to speak to an attorney and start the removal proceedings, right? That's what normally happens. And so I would say that it's important for you to educate your family members as well. You should, and anybody who's watching this live right now, you should know that they can just pick somebody up from inside the US and throw him across the border. They can send him a notice to appear, all that kind of stuff, right?
Thank you. Just trying to be as prepared as
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's good that you're here on the live. And I'm going to make some more videos specifically telling people what happens when it comes to the house, what happens when they come to work, so people get updated what to do. Okay. Thanks, Maria. Of course. We have a lot of questions here. Is the process for EB2 NIW self-petition going to be impacted? Before I answer that question, on TikTok, we've got Kylie here. On YouTube, who has a priority, and she says, if they come to my job, but we are working on my case, will I be detained? So Kylie and everybody else who's watching this, if you are going through the immigration process, so if you're working on your VAWA, if you're working on your U visa, you're working on your green card through employment, whatever, and they come to your place of employment, they cannot do anything to you, because you can show them, say, hey, I am working on my immigration case, and I have this filing. They will let you go. Okay, they shouldn't be detaining you. So that's a great question, Kylie, and appreciate it for being a priority question. So let's talk about EB2 self-petitions, EB1A green cards. They are now still being processed really fast. They're still using the Biden administration. Trump hasn't mentioned anything about that. So if you qualify for self-petition, if you have an advanced degree or a business owner, or you're doing something amazing in your career, you should apply for self-petition right now. And people who want to book the consultation for self-petition or for the H1B visa, because this is the time to do the H1B visa right now. We have a month and a half left. Please book your consultations right now, because my schedule is getting full. If you're watching on TikTok, go to my bio right now. Take the phone number there, screenshot it, and send me a text right now. Say, I saw you on the live. Let's book. And those of you guys on YouTube, the phone number is on the screen. Just use it and do it right now, because if you're looking to apply for your work visa, we literally have a month and a half left. And the link for the webinar is on TikTok. And I'll post it here as well. All right, guys, let's see. The other question is, what about the Muslim ban or any other ban? He hasn't mentioned anything about any bans yet. And so we hope that there will be no bans coming up. Let me see here. Yeah, so for the moment, I didn't see any information about any bans, and hopefully it won't happen. But if there will be any bans, then there will be waivers. So depending on which country you're from, there'll be waivers for you to still be able to enter the United States. All right, let's take a few more questions here on TikTok. How to send you a question? Well, you can post the question here and I can read it. But if you want to book a one-on-one consultation to determine your immigration situation, what to do with your status, what happens if they catch you, or whatever you need to do, or are you eligible for anything, that it's better to do on a consultation, because then I can actually analyze your individual situation instead of just answering generic stuff online. So if you do this individual, just do the book me, use the phone number in my bio and book it right now. And for those of you watching on YouTube, use the number on the screen. Mina is asking, will I be detained at work if I'm working on my I-601A? So that's a good question. So if you are, let's say you're at work and you are here obviously undocumented, but you're working on your 601A, That means also that you filed an I-130 based on your US citizen spouse. That means if they catch you, they probably will catch you because you're working illegally, but you should be able to be released because you have an I-130 pending. So my recommendation for you, if you have an I-130 pending, if you have an I-601A that you're working on, at least carry the receipt of the I-130. Carry the receipt to show them, listen, I filed the green card based on my husband. Please, I'm good. And they will not mess with you. They have other people to worry about. So if you have an I-130 that you filed, carry the receipt with you. It is my recommendation for you guys. Now, people are asking another question. What happens if you, God forbid, gets deported, but you have a business, you have a bank account, you have money in the account? What happens to your assets? Well, your bank account is your bank account, right? Thank God for technology. You can access your online banking. You can move money from your bank to your other bank. My recommendation is you create some kind of a plan, like a will or some kind of a document that's legal signed before a notary and attorney says, if I get deported, I give access to my house to my friend Jose or my friend Derek or whatever. In terms of your banking, you can still access your bank from remotely. Make sure you speak to your bank manager to say, listen, in case something happens to me, I want to have full online access to remove my money from the bank. And I give access to my cousin or whatever. Think about those things, okay? In case of access to your apartment to clear your stuff. But remember, guys, people are not going to be deported from one day to the other. It's not going to happen. You might get an order of removal, and they will initiate deportation against you, but they're not going to just pick you up and kick you out. They're not going to do it. Let me see. People are asking me about the webinar that we're doing for the H1B, and I'm trying to find the link. Those of you watching this on TikTok, the link to my webinar is, thanks team, appreciate it. Now, guys, remember we have a challenge here on TikTok, the heart, the cloud heart. Let's get it on. But the link to the webinar is in my TikTok bio, but I want to share it also with the YouTube group, and I'm trying to find the link to it. And let me see. Oh, here we go. I found the link. So I'm going to post the link to the webinar in the comments here on YouTube. So I just posted it, guys. There's a link. If you click on that link, it will take you to the webinar. The same link is in the TikTok bio, so don't worry about it if you don't watch it on YouTube. If you're watching this on Instagram, you should see the link. I'm going to post it in the comments as well. The comment, you see the link. I posted it on Instagram. There's a link to the webinar. We're doing it on 28th. It's all about the H1B visa, how to get the visa, how to move from DACA to the H1B, how to apply for self-employed H1B, all the new rules. Let me post it again on Instagram. It's right there. Please tell me your opinion about the 601A waiver. I just got approved and I have to go to Ukraine for an interview. What do you think about to leave the United States? This is from Juliana on Instagram. So, Juliana, and for anybody else watching right now, if you have 601A and you're about to go to your interview, if your only violation is your overstay, that's the reason why you have a 601, then you're safe to leave. But if you have other issues in your case, maybe misrepresentation, maybe you forgot to mention something, then I would recommend to speak with an attorney, get 3-4 opinions before you leave the country, Juliana. You're welcome to reach out, send me a DM on Instagram because you're watching this on Instagram, and I will be happy to help you with that. All right, let's take another video question on TikTok. We have Malik who has a question, and then we'll take another video on YouTube if you want to ask me, guys. But you asked really good questions, and I'll post the link here. But if you want to join the webinar, the link is also on YouTube in the comments. Hello, Malik. How are you? Where are you from? And what is your question? You remember, today is a very important day because this is the first day that Trump is the president. He started talking about different things he's going to do. And I'll be analyzing all these developments every day. Whenever there's a new executive order, we'll analyze it. We'll make a video. So please, before we answer your questions, Malik, if you're watching this on TikTok, please follow my account if you're here for the first time, and share the video right now so more people can join us. If you're here on YouTube for the first time, follow my account, subscribe to the channel, and because we'll be doing these lives more often. We're also building a membership. It's going to be a private membership that we will be able to share that information very soon. The reason why we're doing the membership is because there's a lot of information that we can't really talk in public right now. People want to ask more private questions. They want to make sure that there's nobody here. What if there's somebody from UCIS who's watching this live? Many of them are following my channels too. So the membership is going to be very private. We'll be sharing a lot of information, videos, tutorials, lives, and I'm very excited to announce it, but we're not ready to launch it yet. It's coming up very soon, and I'll make a special live to announce it, but it's happening. And you're going to love it. It's going to be a very strong, powerful group, and we'll be able to be in there for the rest of these 4 years and build this community together. Please, Malik, what is your question and where are you from?
I am from New York, and I am originally from Pakistan.
Okay.
And I want to know, is any way I am waiting for my green card, and I am expected end of October this year. Is it possible I can make that speedy process? I can get before that.
What is your categories? What is your category for?
You category.
U visa? And how long have you been waiting for this U visa?
It's more than almost 3 years. Almost. No. I get first work permit, then I get second work permit.
Yeah.
And now I am waiting for green card.
Okay, because you filed the adjustment of status at the same time, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
I mean, honestly, Malik, it's hard for me to tell you how long it's going to take because things are going to change in the next few weeks, to be honest with you.
No, is any way I can make this process faster?
No, you cannot. U visa is one of those visas you cannot expedite, unfortunately. U visa, VAWA, asylum, you can't expedite.
Actually, I was overstaying my country and everything.
No, I understand, but if you apply for U visa, you can move it faster, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Malik. Of course.
Thank you.
I mean, I know a lot of you guys are frustrated about it, but unfortunately, U visas cannot be expedited. People are asking about public charge. The public charge. That's a really good question. Trump didn't say anything about public charge, but remember, this is just day one. Okay, we have a long 4 years. So I believe that a lot of the things that we seen under the first Trump could come back. The public charge means that the restrictions on who can sponsor a green card holder, these are going to come back at some point. I don't know if it's going to come back now, maybe in a few months. For now, that's all we have. I own a smoke shop business. Can I do a self-petition? It depends. It depends on the size of the business. It depends on what your plans are in terms of is it just a smoke shop? Are you going to do some? For example, we had a client who had a convenience store, but they had a program where they were educating people how to eat healthy food, and so they don't become obese, right? So that together with the store, I was able to qualify for self-petition. Maybe we can do something in your smoke shop, right? Once again, a lot of people are are asking about the self-petitions and our program to help people with that. So I need to know if you qualify. And the best thing to do is just go to the link in my bio, use the phone number there, and send me a text, and let's book a consultation because we want to be able to help people that are currently undocumented, but they want to know what to do. What are the options they have in case something happens? People that are eligible to apply for green cards and work visas. What can you do now that there's a Trump administration? To do this, I need to know your specific case. And to do this, we have to book a consultation. So use the link in my bio. click the phone number there and text me. And for those of you guys watching on YouTube, the number is on the screen right now, and I'll post in the comments the link to the webinar that you need to sign up if you want to know how to get H1B visa in 2024. Melissa is waiting patiently to join live on YouTube. Melissa, turn on your video and ask your question.
Um,
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I want to ask you, I have my case closed in 2014 for removal proceeds.
Okay.
It was administratively closed.
Excellent. Okay.
Then in 2022, I applied for U visa.
Okay. U visa, right?
Yes. And 2022, I haven't received the bona fide determination yet.
Okay.
And a few months ago, I expedite.
Okay.
And you just told it there somebody cannot never ever is expedite a U visa. I did that.
Okay. Did it work?
I haven't received anything yet.
That's what I'm telling you. You can try to expedite, but I've never seen in my life anyone get approved for a U visa expedite. I mean, if it works for you, amazing. But I'm just being honest with the client and telling him that, I've never seen a U visa being expedite. But if it works for you, I mean, I hope it works.
Yeah, because they didn't say anything. You can expedite. You have the rights to, and I did. And I'm gonna be waiting because I have some other options. I heard also you can go to the congressman. You can try to call them every day and start to bug them about it.
Absolutely. But I'm telling you, in my experience, those visas, U visa, VAWA, and asylum, it's very difficult to expedite. And the reason is because the backlog is horrendous. We're talking about 6-7 years. You know what I mean? It's not like we apply for a work permit, you can expedite it. But if you did it and you tried, by all means.
But they're never gonna give me a work permit.
They should give it to you. It's going to take time.
But how many months?
I mean, it's a good question. I mean, right now,
they said it's between 52 months to 60 months. You should get something.
No. The work permit is a little bit faster, but I think everything's going to change right now under Trump.
Did he mention anything today about a U visa?
No. Today was very general. Closing the border, deporting 1 million people. Let's talk about birthright citizenship. People are asking in the comments, can he actually end birthright citizenship? I'll mention that in a second. And
just for right now, right? It's almost like he postponed right now, but I think it's a lot of things is going to happen. Another question I have, Jacob.
Melissa, I can only answer that question because we have a lot of people waiting.
Just a second. What's going to be in between my two cases? One, they closed in 2014. Okay. And then I apply for U visa. What's going to be my situation right now? Do you think they're going to reopen all the cases the judge invited me to close?
No, absolutely not. I'm talking about people that have final removal orders. They haven't finished the case. You're not like that. Your case was closed. You're good to go, and now you have a different case. You're not a target for removal.
Can I leave the last thing there for everybody to watch and just to help them? Can I say something for the people it's watching us right now? I want to tell people prepare money on side, okay, to pay an attorney, because in case if you get arrested, you can get money to pay an attorney. It's very important. Another thing, if you get a pickup by ICE, dress warm, okay? Because just the word ICE, everything it's a metal and it's a code, okay? Dress warm, save some money aside for the attorney.
Absolutely. That's good advice. Thank you so much, Melissa.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
You know, it's true because, but you know, but at the same time, I don't want people to panic because there's no need to panic. It's important to be prepared, to be aware. And what you're doing right now by being on the live, you're learning, you're getting information. You know, a lot of people ask me to create the membership because people are afraid to ask these questions in public, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram. So you know, I'm going to do it. I promise you. I mean, I have a lot of people here requesting it. You know, the membership will be private for you guys to join, and you know, we'll do lives every week. I'll be able to review documents. We'll be able to. So yeah, I'll work on that. What's going to happen with DACA is it canceled only in Texas or in all 50 states. So you know, Texas they ruled DACA to be unlawful. It's only applicable in Texas. But DACA is federal. So even if they said in Texas, it doesn't mean anything. It means that new applications cannot file, but you can still renew and you can still apply for advanced parole. So it means nothing. What's going to happen with DACA? Trust me, he's going to address DACA very soon, and we'll be here to share with you. Is he going to give green cards to students? Well, you saw it day one. Did he give green cards? No, he can't do that. You know, there's a big backlog of green cards, and so even if he wanted to give green cards to students, how can he do it? Right? I mean, he has to give them some kind of a path between student and a green card. When you remove conditions of your green card, should you receive a new card? No. So when you file for the removal of conditions on your green card, you're going to get a form, and it's a 4-year extension. You don't get a new card. You're going to get a card, but it's going to take a while. But you're going to use that form, and it's going to give you the same benefits of a card. What would happen to people who have an interview in Juarez these upcoming days or months? Nothing's going to happen. They will go to their interview, and if you qualify for that interview, you're going to go. And if you have a good waiver, don't go to the interview unless you have an approved waiver, right? You got it. We need your help with our green card. Joshua, as I mentioned before, because you're watching this on TikTok, all you have to do is, and I'm gonna say it once in a while, you go to the link in my bio. There's a phone number there. Write it down or screenshot it and send me a text right now. I see you on the live. I want to book an appointment, and that's all you have to do. You have to worry about it. And those of you guys on YouTube, same thing. There's a number right here on top. Write down, send me a text. So you saw me on the live. And those of you asking about the H1B webinar, it is on the 28th, and it will be a massive one. I'm putting the link in the YouTube comments, and if you're watching this on TikTok, the link is in my bio. All right. And as I mentioned before, no green cards for students, unfortunately. Let's see. If someone who lost their H2A visa by staying in the US, is he at risk of deportation? So, okay, guys, so that's a recurring question. If you had a work visa, if you had a student visa, if you had a tourist visa, and you overstayed, and now you're just living here in the shadows, you are not a target for deportation, at least for now, okay? The million people he wants to deport are not people who just overstayed. Otherwise, he's going to have to deport at least 15 million, which is not possible. The target of removals is you had a prior deportation, you didn't leave. Even if they deported you, you currently have a final order of removal. You are a criminal, and you just were caught at the border recently. Those are the main focus. Now, they're raiding right now. They're raiding employment establishments all over the country. They're starting with at least 9 states. If they raid and you're there and they catch you, you are eligible to see a judge. You are eligible to speak with an attorney. You are eligible for a bond. So nobody's going to pick you up and deport you, right? So let's remember that. Now, it doesn't mean it's not stressful. It doesn't mean that it's a fun situation to be apprehended by an ICE agent. But you're not going to be just picked up and removed. Let's finish our challenge on TikTok. We have the heart. Who's gonna be able to get to 50? I want to see it. Can something will happen to my husband even though his 601 has been approved? He doesn't have an appointment yet. So, guys, if you have 601, thanks a lot. Thanks, Amelia. Thanks, Salita. Let's hit that heart challenge above here. Thanks a lot. Your husband has an I-130 filed. That's the reason why you're working on the 601. If you have an I-130 filed, thanks, Tiffany. I appreciate it. Take a copy of this I-130, make a copy of it, and have your husband carry it with him. Thanks, Tiffany. Tiffany, you're the star. Appreciate it. I wish I see it on YouTube. On TikTok, we have all these hearts and likes, and that's why I love it. So you keep it, and if ICE stops you, you show them that you are in the process of going through the immigration, and they will not do anything to you. Instagram, we have how much is your consultation from Imad? Send me a DM. If you're watching this on Instagram, send me a DM right now. What about if your visa overstay under 2 years and there's no criminal records? Will they deport me? No, they're not going to deport you. They will detain you if they stop you at work, if you're working illegally, but they're not going to deport you. Green card for students, is it true or false? Katrina is asking on Instagram. It is false because today is the first day and there's no green card for students. DACA, can you still apply for advanced parole? Yes, you can still apply. All right. Anything about DACA? Nothing yet, unfortunately. What about airports? If we don't have real ID before May, this is from Luba. Right now, if you're undocumented, you can still fly with a valid ID. They're not going to do anything to you. But it will be definitely more complicated as the real ID law will pass, which is going to force people to actually apply for the real ID. And if you don't have real ID, then it's going to limit the movement of immigrants inside the United States. I was reading somewhere that Trump is planning to also put ICE and CBP inside the airports for domestic travel as well. That's what, thanks, Gina. That's what I heard. Nothing has been confirmed yet, but as of now, travel at your own risk, obviously, inside the United States. 2 questions from Joe on YouTube. If you overstay ESTA, do you still have rights to see an immigration judge? So ESTA is basically a 90-day privilege people from European countries have and other countries. The problem with ESTA is that you do not have the right to see a judge, unfortunately. You waive the right to see a judge. So if they catch you on ESTA and they want to deport you, you cannot go to court. If your state offers undocumented people a driver license, should I apply or is it too risky? I don't think it makes a difference if you're from ESTA. The only solution for ESTA is to marry a U.S. citizen. If you marry a U.S. citizen, that's going to allow you to stay here. Otherwise, ESTA is pretty much a very bad thing. Majority of Trump's plans are unrealistic or unconstitutional or both. That's one way to see it. Now, let's talk about birthright citizenship. He's saying he wants to remove that. He wants to, he's going to sign an executive order. What does it mean? He's talking about future incidents. So, for example, let's say you're having a baby now, and this executive order is signed. Trump is trying to say that those babies are not going to be considered to be U.S. citizens. I just don't see how it's possible. I mean, there has to be some sort of a way for him to pass a bill that is going to be signed by the House and passed by the Senate, and then he's going to sign it into law. It doesn't make sense. It's part of our Constitution. It's part of the 14th Amendment. It's to me, it doesn't make sense. I don't think he can do it. So where would they be citizens of? That's exactly what I'm saying, right? It doesn't make sense. If they're not going to be citizens of the U.S., what country will they be citizens? I guess they're going to be citizens of the country of their parents. He did. He did sign it today, correct. This is the future birthright citizenship order. I feel like they would allow. Is it safe to do advanced parole right now? I'm scared to go. Again, advanced parole is safe. If you get it, you should be able to go. There's no unless there's a travel ban, I wouldn't worry about it. Let's take another live video on let's see here. We've got Mr. Turk on YouTube, and then I'm gonna take
Hello, can you hear me?
yeah. Where are you
Hey.
from and what's your question?
Well, this my question. Well, I'm from United States, but I'm kind of calling on behalf of my wife. She was a DACA recipient,
Okay.
and I don't know anything about immigration, so I just assumed that she was taking care of her stuff. But she, before her DACA expired, she submitted her paperwork through mail, but she didn't get a receipt or anything. So our life continued for like that over a year. I was like, what's going on with that? And because we never got a receipt, we never got anything. So then we saw like an immigration lawyer, and then they told us we have to reapply again, and we did. But now it's been like 3 years, and we barely 2024 of November we got a biometrics appointment.
Okay.
So I guess my question is this: since we applied, we tried to renew, but nothing happened. And I tried to find a receipt, and even if I try to find out if immigration even got those papers, there's no trace of that. And then we reapplied in 2022. Is that still considered a renewal, even though it's over a year?
So, that's a good question. I mean, it really depends on immigration because you consider to be a late filing. At this point, it's up to them, right? Because you can't go back in time, right? You did what you could.
Yeah.
I would say if they refuse it, probably try to appeal it or try to explain. Sometimes they'll take it in good cause. Especially if you can show that you try to file the first file and you never got receipts. You know what I mean? You got to do your best to try to save the case. Because
see, I tried my best. We got the money. I can't find the money order receipt. But for the second time, we did it through the online service that they had, and we have all the paperwork for that. So
that's fine. I mean, all you can do right now, just wait for them to reach back to you because your case is sitting right now there, right?
Yeah, it says it's on currently actively being reviewed.
So just sit and wait, and if they come back with a negative decision, then reach out to an attorney, and I'll be happy to help you. Because right now, there's not much I can do. Your case is pending.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Let's take Yasmin from TikTok Live, and then I think we are almost up at our live, but obviously because it's going to be a pretty busy week, we'll probably be back again on Thursday. Hopefully, give you some updates. Yasmin, how are you and where are you from? What's your question?
From Colorado. How are you doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good. What is your question?
My question is, so I have DACA and I have had DACA since 2011. I am married for 10 years to my husband. He's a U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
But I've been waiting for my appointment in Juarez for next month will be 6 years. And it's still saying it's pending, like they're reviewing it.
So say it again. So it was filed when?
So I filed back. It's been 6 years next month that it's saying that it's approved. But you know how it gives you like the, what do they call it? Like the timeline or whatever?
Yeah.
I'm still like 3.5 years. Do you think that would change at all? Would it go any faster?
I think right now, in terms of timeline, I tell everybody, because we're just beginning, we're in January, right? And the year just starting for us, it's hard to say about any timeline. So everything I say is just a prediction. I mean, I think we'll know more after March, because that's when we get an idea how immigration is going to be doing the year. So I think if you want to have a realistic expectation as to timeline, probably in March will be a better way to check.
Okay, so my DACA is supposed to be renewed by the end of the year. Do you think I should go ahead and renew it?
Absolutely.
To be on the safe side?
Absolutely, you should do it. I tell everybody, if you have DACA and you should be able, and you're about to renew your DACA and apply for advanced parole, even if you're not going to use it. As long as we have DACA right now, when we have it, and you have the option to renew it. Yeah. What?
Sorry, my problem is that apparently the lawyer that I have, that has been doing all of my paperwork, they don't do advance parole.
What do you mean? Why?
I have no idea. I just found that out. So my my waiver, my pardon, whatever they call it,
Yeah.
it was approved already.
Okay.
And I asked them about, well, since it's been approved.
Oops. My phone just died on TikTok. All right. Okay, guys. So let me see here. I don't know what happened, but my phone just died here. Anyway, so I will end the live stream on YouTube right now. We'll be back here on Thursday, hopefully with more questions, with more updates. I'll know more what's going to happen. And I hope you guys stay safe. And let's hope for better news moving forward in the week on immigration. All right, guys. So I'll be back on Thursday, hopefully around the same time. And, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more updates to report as we get. All right. Thanks, guys. It was amazing. And I will see you here on Thursday. Keep those questions coming. If you need help with your immigration matters, send me a text, 619-483-4549. I'm always here for you. See you soon.